Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger.
Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick.
Take 32.
The Sports Desk is proudly presented by Car Crafters. It's like it never happened.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez. Our special guest, and he was the guest also on the rundown, the owner of the New Mexico Runners indoor soccer team, my very good friend Andres Trujillo, better known as Andres T. Andres, man, always good to have you.
What's up, my brother?
Oh, it's always good to have you. We go back such a long way. I remember,
Hey,
yeah,
yes,
years past. I remember when I first got to host 1017, the team, the locker room, and I remember meeting you then. And, you worked there many years.
Yeah, that was like 2007?
Yeah, 2010, actually. And it's funny the way, my first trek into radio, I had an interest in radio. I worked with the legendary Henry T. And, I remember, this is how old this is. I know Joe O'Neill from high school. We played basketball. He played for Siebel. I played for Highland. And I remember sending him a VHS tape of a show that I did for the Department of Senior Affairs. Mm-hmm. That's how old that is. Nobody does VHS anymore, right? And so I didn't think anything about it. I didn't think anything about it. And I remember Joe writing me an email saying, "Oh, I like what I see. Bob Brown's going to be out of town, and you can host a show." I about fell over. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I didn't expect that, right? I didn't expect that, but I was so excited. I remember walking in the studio, and when I first got to host the show, and I'm thinking, gosh, I don't know anybody. I know Joe. I don't know Bob. I don't know anybody. But everybody was, was David Dominguez was so nice, Sal Ortiz, Robbie Westby. Mm-hmm. And these are friends that I still talk to today. Yeah. And you. And so it was a great team around the studio, right? Because nobody made you feel like, what are you doing here? Yeah. What do you want? Yep. And I remember when at that time Bob Brown was interviewing Mike Loxley, the football coach, and I thought, hey, man, I'm just going to stay out of the way. I'm going to go in the studio. I don't want to be in his way. And I remember Bob saying, he's a good friend to this day, by the way. He says, Ed, come on in here, man. Be part of the show. And, gosh, I learned so much from him. Because when I was going to host the show, I remember him telling me show maps, right? Him and I still talk, by the way.
Bobby B.
Yeah, I'm going to have him on as a guest here in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
And, but there's people in radio or TV, right? And you and I talk at least once a month. You're a good friend and a good person and someone who I really want to see succeed. And you've got such great passion and ideas. But Bob is one of the guys in radio that, to this day, will still mentor me, man.
Absolutely. He's one of the best.
I sent him a show from 610 when I was on 610. Nobody from 1017 would use. He listened to it, critiqued it, gave me some tips. Yeah. And I remember he said, hey, show maps. He gave me some other tips about this and that. And I took those to heart because this is a guy that's been in TV and radio, had won awards.
He's done it all.
Right. And is just a good person, right? It's good people.
Absolutely.
I can't say that everybody, I told your wife this last night, that everybody that I've met in media is good people because they're not. Yeah. They're not. But him, the ones that you meet are good, you want to hold on to. You don't forget. You're one of them, absolutely one of them. You also gave me my gig when I was the play-by-play announcer for famous hip hop radio for the Duke City Gladiators. Yeah. God, I had fun covering that team. I really did.
It's good times.
You know, it really was. I even got to go to. I still remember we lost up in Amarillo. I still remember it because you're in the box next to us with some of the coaches, and we blew it at the end. We should have won. And I just remember how mad you were. I was too. You know, I couldn't come across the air like that. But I remember, man, we were all mad. We should have never lost that game. I think it was an interception by Donnie Duncan, the Amarillo. The guy intercepted Donovan Portery like 4 or 5 times that year.
Yep.
Donnie, and he even stabbed us worse because Duncan used to play for UNM.
UNM.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we kept saying, "There's that guy again." And so anyway, you and I have a long time media relationship and a personal friendship. I just think the world of you. I was telling that to your wife last night. That,
over at Lava Rock Brewing when they had the ProView party, watching the national championship. That was fun last night. I'll tell you what. That was good times.
You know what, Andres, it's a who's who, right? You got Joe O'Neill, Brian O'Neill, Sebastian Noel, Adam Deal, Steve Davis, and the legendary Henry T's out there.
They're all out there.
Tom Dragmeister, John Jimenez, David Howes, who's going to be the tight ends coach at UNM.
Yep.
So yeah, and I'm a big time schmoozer, man. I used to do that at work, and I would tell my boss, I said, hey, you pay me to be a social guy, and nobody does it better than me. And that was in my element.
He's a guy. Go out there and talk to everybody.
Hey, man.
Call it Nunez. He's there to talk to everybody.
I love to press the flesh. So, plus I've had a long time sports related. I used to ref high school basketball. I played, I coached. I've been lucky, fortunate to have the gigs that I've had. And I appreciate that. I do. But I wanted to ask you about your work back in the day at ESPN Radio. I remember when you started there and you had a show 7 o'clock. Local Focus, what's it called?
7:30 a.m.
to
8 a.m. Chalk Talk.
Chalk Talk.
Yep, that was my show.
You did that for several years.
Since the beginning of the start of 1017.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So, I come from radio. I used to work for Radio Disney.
That's right.
1240 here in town. Hosted a radio show there, and then I was also their lead MC as well as their events staff kind of guy we would go to events with Radio Disney and we would go out to the community and do stuff. So I would be like the head honcho when it came to the entertainment and stuff like that. So did all that for a while since 2006. And then ESPN or 1017, the team, it was a Fox Sports affiliate at the time, called me with David Dominguez and said, hey, we need somebody to host a radio show in the morning, focus on community and stuff like that. And you're the guy for that. So they brought me on when the ESPN 1017 the team started. And so that's kind of how I got started in the media realm with things. Yeah.
One of the things is I think people need to remember when you were doing this at Radio Disney, you used to be a dancer too.
Danced, yep. I did some hip hop dancing.
Yeah,
all this laughing over there.
Yeah.
You know what? I should have brought a clip for you today. If I would have known to talk about that, about showing me dancing back when I did with.
Oh, you know what? We have to do that the next time he's on. Oh yeah,
okay.
You have to do that.
I do have a video clip, and I'm gonna bring it. So.
Yeah, one of my friends told me that, and I looked up your profile, and you started this. How old are you now?
33.
Okay, so you started these things at a very young age when you were in Radio Disney.
Yeah, I was 20. Was I 21? 20, 21, something like that.
I think for a while Henry T had Radio Disney on his 11:50
yeah,
a.m. Right?
He was there. I want to say 4 years before I joined Radio Disney. He had it on his.
He had it on for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so I think that's what I mean about where you started. And I remember you did promotions for the Gladiators on the field.
Yeah. So Gladiators.
You were in charge of the promotions.
I did all the promotional stuff, set that up, ran media relations, broadcasting. I was the one that set that up, and so did pretty much majority of things for the Gladiators.
Well, you know
minus the coaching and all that stuff, but yeah.
Well, you know what? You may not have coached, but you were in the box right next to the coaches.
Yes.
And you were as passionate about winning and losing as any. I still remember when we lost. I mean, we all were upset. I remember that.
Yes.
But yeah, you were very passionate about that too.
Absolutely. You know me, I'm passionate about sports, and that's why I do what I do today. And so obviously going into sports radio, that was kind of like my in when my first step into the sports world community-wise. Of course, doing radio, sports radio, and then helping invest in other sports teams like the Albuquerque Soul soccer team, as well as the New Mexico Stars, the indoor football team at the Star Center.
Yeah.
Investing in that and things like that helped me kind of get involved in the sports realm, and so then and then had the opportunity to get started with the Duke City Gladiators, and me and a couple others got together and said, hey, let's start an arena football team here. Moved it to Tingley and did that from 2015 on. And so, you know, I did all that. Like we talked about how I did a lot of the promotional stuff, the on-field media relations and broadcasting and event coordination and things like that. Did all that with the Gladiators for a bit, and then said, hey, it's time to move on and do my own thing. And ownership at the time where they kind of grew, and I said, okay, well, that's cool and all. I think it's kind of running on its own. Well, time for me to do my own thing, and that's why I started the New Mexico Runners professional arena soccer team. We're at the Santa Ana Star Center, so it's my own thing, and my family, we're family owned and operated, so it's me and have my mom involved doing our ticketing. My wife does our game operations, and so my sisters are involved helping with VIPs and sponsorships. So it's all family. We're all one big family, and we're all working together. So, but my passion extends into community. Hey, I want our community to succeed in the sports realm, in quality of life, and that's why I do what I do. I want to build our quality of life. I want to be able to, say, hey, we all have something to get behind. We all can say, hey, whether it's dealing with the craziness of politics out there, whether it's dealing with the craziness of stress, the jobs, your job life, your careers, your family life. Hey, you know what? Put that aside. We want to bring everyone together with our sports team. Hey, come support what the sports team is all about, and we're all about family. So hey, put that all away. Hey, you know what? For a couple hours, get to come escape that nonsense and come here and hang out and cheer on and have a good time with your family. So, I'm all about the community. I'm all about, hey, positive quality of life. Let's this is what this is for. I want everybody to get over here and get behind something that they don't have to worry about, what you think and that. But we're all here together for one common purpose, and that's to improve the quality of life in our community.
We probably need more of that. I think you're right. You and I talk, sometimes we'll talk some politics, and it's tribal now, right? It's one side or the other, and there used to be somewhat of a center, right? Mm-hmm. And people could agree to disagree, and it's gotten so nasty, and it's too bad. But I think, you go into the games, and we'll talk more in the next segment about the runners, about how you founded them, what your philosophy is. Again, you mentioned you do the ticketing, I call you the chief bottle washer, chief uniform washer, bus driver. PA, okay, you did some announcing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yep.
I listened to it. I thought you did a great job. So, you wear many hats, man. And you have to, right? This is your thing. Just like I remember when Joe O'Neill started 101.7 in 2008. Mm-hmm. He always reminded me, he says, Eddie, you have no idea how hard it was to start in the nation's worst economic downturn at that time. Mm-hmm. He always reminds me that. So whose name is on this? It's your name.
Yes.
So, when you and I talk, and they're lengthy conversations because I know your passion. Mm-hmm. I do. I know you. You're so creative and talented.
I appreciate that.
I was telling your wife that last night. I still remember we did that Dreamstyle interview at Dreamstyle Arena. We did it for their party. And we were interviewing some people, and you're like, no, cut, do it again. And I never got upset, though. I told your wife last night, I said, Andres just has that knack. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows, man. I didn't get upset like, wait, hey, man, that was good. Mm-hmm. I just did it again.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah.
You just
we wanted to make you look good. Yeah, we wanted to make you look good. Yeah.
So you have the same approach with your team.
Absolutely. And that's the whole thing. And like we talked about a little bit last night over at the Lava Rock, we were like saying, hey, as part of just building, right? You're building your community, investing in yourself. So when you mentioned how I know every aspect of what I do. So, for example, I was the DJ over at our last home game because, I filled in the gaps and things like that. And then the week before that, I was doing the play-by-play on the broadcast. And so being knowledgeable in everything and investing in yourself to learn these things. And that's what I invite folks to even our games, like say, hey, if you're looking for a way to get involved in sports, we're an open platform. So if you're looking to get try your hand in broadcasting, come check out the game and come talk to me and let's find a place for you so you can learn. And that's what I like to ensure that we have is that if you're well-rounded, you're going to be better in what you do and you're going to grow whatever you put your hand into. If you're going to start a team, you're going to start a business, you're going to start do this, that, and the other, it just helps you become a better individual, and it helps the community as well because you're able to do these things and we all grow together, we all work together and say, hey, well, I can do this. Oh, well, we all can do this and we all can work together. Boom, and it just creates a better quality product and in sports and business. Whatever platform you go into in your life. So.
Right, you want to reach out to a lot of different areas. We'll be back with New Mexico Runners President Andres T. after these messages on the Sports Desk.
It's his second field goal. He's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a 3 for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20!
Well, he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this, they're not going to score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak, ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? 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 Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Special guest this morning, live on Comcast Channel 26, the Sports Desk, Ed Nunez, the New Mexico president or owner of the New Mexico Runners, the indoor soccer league, or the soccer team out there at Rio Rancho's at Star Center. Andres Trujillo, my very good friend.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here on the Sports Desk. Hey, this is like one of those shows where you got to be on. When you get called up to be on the Sports Desk, you know you're made the big time.
Well, if former, my co-host Scott Coletti's listening, he'd probably appreciate that because you know, through the years we have had some really good
Absolutely.
guests. You know, and thinking about it, I think sometimes when you're in the mix of it, you don't think about it, and you're like, hey, we've had Coach Weir, you know, we've had Ray Birmingham, you know, we've had Bob Brown, we've had Jeff Symbieta. So we've had some very good guests throughout the year. Ira Hard Sr. was on with us last year.
That's awesome.
And people forget, Ira Hard Sr. played here for UNM. I didn't get to see him. Played in the old ABA, which was the old ABA.
That was premier.
The old ABA.
That was the premier
Rick Barry,
basketball. Yep.
George McGinnis, Dr. J.
Premier basketball.
I asked him a question. He pulled down 38 rebounds in one game, and that's when rebounds back in the day you had to. Man,
you got it. You're going up against tough guys.
Oh.
You got to. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I you know, when you look at watch the old games and footage and stuff. I mean, you're grabbing that ball and you're clearing. You are
It's a
clearing.
man's game, yeah. It's a man's game. They're not going to call, you know, the things that they call now. And again, you still have to rebound. But back then, chin.
Elbows, chin.
Oh,
yeah, all
man,
that.
you know, if they caught an elbow to the jaw, and there's only 2 officials out there, it's not the coverage that you have now with 3. So we have had some absolutely great guests, you know, throughout the years. And, you know, no, of course, I've been wanting to have you on for a
I
long
know,
time.
a little overdue. You know, this season's been a busy season for us. I'll tell you that.
But let's
much.
talk
And,
about that a little
yeah.
bit. I know you were on the road this past Saturday.
Yes, we were in Wichita on Sunday. We played on Sunday in Wichita, Kansas, and unfortunately just couldn't get momentum going for us. Our guys and the long road trips do make for a difficult playing environment for the visiting team, which was us. And unfortunately, we lost 9-3. And but with that being said, we have a great squad this year. I mean, an excellent squad this year. We had 13 guys our core guys from last season come back. So, you know, these guys have been doing an excellent job playing. We have guys like our last year's MVP, Jaime Rodriguez, Chiva. He leads the league in goals scored and a total number of points as well as assists. You know, Luis Fernando Martinez, our midfielder, he's back this year and he's in second with the number of points and goals. We have guys like Jake Gandaria and midfielder. He's back and rocking and rolling. He's the guy that makes sure that these Chiva and Luis and all these other guys get set up to score some goals. Isaiah Madrid is back, and so we have a lot of guys that are back, and it's really great to see these guys continuing on and building. Of course, we have our goalkeeper Casey Gasson, who's rocking and rolling, and definitely doing a really good job this year and improved from last year, which is awesome. We like to see him improvement, and he's done an amazing job at the keeper position. So when you see guys like that coming back and they're local, that's what's really important. And so, you know, highlights. We got some highlights. Yeah, you know what? That's perfect segue into highlights. And so, you know, we got guys that are putting in, scoring goals. Of course, Froilan Ramirez, he's from Los Lunas, went to Los Lunas High School. And so when you guys got guys like that, you know, coming through, it's great. So here you got Chiva Jaime Rodriguez, putting some goals in. Again, last year he scored 41 goals in the season. Isaiah Madrid here, local product, scoring some goals.
That's nice.
And check out this celebration. Our guys are having some fun here. And this is what it's about when you go to a New Mexico Runners Arena soccer game. Giving birth to the goal, baby ball.
So it's not just in football.
It's not.
Indoor soccer,
It's
too.
all about entertainment, man. All about entertainment, and that's what's really special. Jaime Rodriguez here with that goal. How
with the
beautiful is that?
left.
With the left
That's
foot.
gorgeous,
I
yeah.
mean, being ambidextrous like that, being able to kick with both feet, it's amazing to see. And about entertainment, that's what we do here. And so, you know, we want people to say, hey, you know, what do we get when we go to the New Mexico Runners Arena soccer games? You get entertainment, fast, high scoring. Look at those legs. Josh Goss, who is who played for us last year and plays for us this season, but also played with United, New Mexico United. So played both, and so that's what's really cool about you know, who we got going. There's Froilan Ramirez from Los Lunas. He's on our squad, and he's one of our best players as well. You can't forget Luis Fernando Martinez setting people up, and that's what's really cool about the game. Yeah, so you can see how talented our guys are, and so let's hear from our coach and players on what they do in every game.
Okay.
First game of season 2, Coach Famoletta, talk to us about tonight's game.
Well, I have to give it to the boys. You know, relatively short amount of time of training. A lot of things we got to cover. So the basic things that we have covered so far in training, they executed fantastic today.
That's awesome. Looking at the team like Austin, Were you thinking that this was going to be a faster-paced game, slower-paced game, or what were you preparing for?
Well, first-year team, we were a first-year team last year, and, all except 2 of our games, we carried the lead into the 4th quarter, so you can't write anyone off. And then the market in Austin is tremendous in terms of indoor soccer players. It's a large community, so you don't know what to expect.
With the overall signed squad, 13 guys returned this year and signed quite a few new guys. Talk about that chemistry.
So far, it's been fantastic. We've come up with a new rotation also. Last year, we didn't have the luxury just based on the amount of players that could play at this level. But this year, the amount that we do have, I'm very happy with it so far.
Going into the next game, it's a doubleheader weekend next Saturday, Sunday in Colorado. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are check us out on the web, and you'll get a good show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Midfielder Luis Fernando Martinez, number 14, with 4 goals on the game to help propel the Runners to victory, 12-5. Luis, tell us a little bit about tonight's game.
Man, we were just ready to win. We were ready for everything, man. We just played really good today. Had 4 goals today, 2 assists, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Tell us
today.
a little bit about your tonight and the chemistry of the team. I mean, first game of season 2. What was the chemistry like?
It was a lot better than last year. We started, with goals. We started playing better this year, passing the ball around, subbing everything. It was awesome today.
Now, obviously, we had 13 guys return this year and added quite a few new guys to the mix. Talk about that and how that played into tonight's game.
They fitted it in really well. They had some of them had experience with other teams, so they fitted really well. Actually, it was really good.
So after tonight's game, we got a doubleheader heading into next weekend in Colorado. What are your thoughts on getting prepared for this next week on the road?
Just train more mentally, physically, and be ready for Saturday and Sunday.
Thank you, Luis.
Thank you.
There's interviews that we just got done looking at some of your players and head coach Steve Palmoletta.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about him. Again, people that are watching, you're the owner, president, general manager, chief bottle, like I said, the whole thing, right? So where did you get Coach Palmoletta from?
So Coach Palmoletta is a local guy. He went to Cibola High School. And so played at UNM and toured the world playing soccer. And so he's actually a guy that reached out to me. And so after I announced and whatnot, our team back in 2018, I was actually talking to some other potential coaches and just chatting with folks. And then he actually called me and said, "Hey, I'm Steve. I just want to introduce myself. Can we go meet?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, sure." And so we went and met and learned a lot about him. And he went to Cibola High School. He's in the Cibola Sports Hall of Fame. Played USL, and he's in the USL Pro Soccer Hall of Fame. And toured the world playing all over Russia and everywhere you can think. And then playing indoor soccer across the country from LA to everywhere. And so I was like, wow, this guy's amazing. Holy cow. So did more research, and then we met, and I'm like, you know what? This is the guy. This is the guy that we need to get us to where we need to be with arena soccer and indoor soccer. And with his resume, he's going to get us to a championship, and we're gonna rock and roll, and we're gonna bring a championship to New Mexico and be Major Arena Soccer League's champion. So 2 years later, 2 seasons later, we're rocking and rolling, man. He's amazing and just knows what he's talking about, and that's what's really important is in a coach, right? Someone who knows what they're talking about, and I love it when he's coaching and we're playing, they're playing and stuff like that. And then, they do something and coach says, okay, this is what you need to do. And they do something opposite. You know how athletes are. They'll tend to veer off and go tangent and do their own thing. And so they do their own thing and then maybe somebody makes a mistake. And then coach says, okay, again, let me tell you again, this is what you need to do. And then the next play and the next shift in, they go and do it. Boom, they score a goal. And I love it. Yeah, Coach, you were so right. You were so right. Wow. And so Coach Palmoletta knows what he's talking about, and it's amazing to watch him coach, to watch him do his thing, and just even have conversations with him about his experience is amazing. And so listen to his stories, and man, he has accomplished a lot, and he's a local guy. That's what's really great, and that's what's really important for our our team, our guys are local. You saw that interview with Luis Fernando Martinez, and he went to Del Norte, and so a lot of our guys, Miguel Garcia came from Cleveland High School. We have guys that come from Rio Rancho High School, Volcano Vista, and so it's really great to see these guys that are local, community, and that's what we're all about.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, you talked about that anyway, because when you're out there in Rio Rancho, some of the guys you mentioned played out in Volcano Vista, played out in that community. So I think the name recognition and that has to help.
Absolutely, absolutely, and so we want that to be that with our team, we want it to be all about the community, right? We want it to be hey, when you come to our games, and we definitely encourage you and welcome you, come to our games. They're so fun, they're so exciting, high scoring, edge of your seat action. You won't want to get up to go get a hot dog because you're going to be like, oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? I mean, from last home game, we scored a goal within 30 seconds, 2 goals within 30 seconds. So, I mean, and we were, and you go, wait, what did I miss? It's that fast. And so it's all about that community aspect. And so when you come out and you're coming to the games, you're supporting our athletes that are your local soccer stars. So, I mean, come to the game. Tickets are only $13. You can't beat it. And it's the best entertainment in town, entertainment value in town. I mean, and you just have a fun time when you come to the games.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Again, you've done some marketing, and that's helped you. The experience you've had marketing with the Gladiators, with Radio Disney, I think all these things, ESPN Radio, all these things together have definitely helped. We'll talk more about that in the next 2 segments. Who's in charge of the interviews? Who puts all the backdrops together? Who does all the photography? Who puts it on Facebook? I mean, we talked about the chief bottle washer, the uniform washer, the van driver, right? And I was only somewhat kidding about that because that's what you do.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes announcer when they need one. There's not a part of the organization that Andres T doesn't have his hands on.
And that's that's just who I am as an individual. I want to know everything I can about what I do, and so about anything that I get involved with, I want to know every aspect I can. And even if I'm not the greatest at this, that, the other, I want to know. I want to learn. I want to be able to learn. I'm like a I'm a lifetime student, if you will, and I want to learn everything I can and experience everything I can. So yeah, being able to do these things, like I mentioned before, I was the DJ for the last home game, and being the play-by-play broadcaster the game before that, driving the van, I do that. So being able to do those things and learn, and I just want to know everything I can in this life, right? Life's short, and I want to be able to experience what I can. But along those sides, we do have a great staff, and we have a great staff that does help out to be there. They're there. They've been there from day one. Give a shout out to Michael Sanchez. He's our equipment manager. He takes care of he does take care of everything. Make sure our guys are outfitted right. Make sure they're good there. We have guys like I brought on a gentleman by the name of Bobby Famaletta, who's actually the nephew of our head coach, and he's been jumping on to help us out with things, and he's getting the know of what I do and how the organization runs, so he can alleviate some of the responsibilities and things like that. So I brought him on as an assistant GM. Of course, we have a guy by the name of Mike Suarez. Give him a shout out if he's watching. He's been helping me out. I've known him for a long time. He's a ballooning buddy of mine. So we balloon together during Balloon Fiesta.
There's another interest. Yeah. There's a million of them.
Exactly.
I don't know if we can get to all of them today, but hey.
Yeah. So we're family oriented as well. That's our whole core right there. My mom does our ticketing. She's our ticketing director, so she handles all the ticketing, the birthday parties, the group rates, group discounts, organizing groups to come in. My wife does our game operations. So we're all connected. We're all a very big connected family, and so that's what I want to, that's the information I want to relay to the community. Hey, this is a family organization. We're all about the family. You got to come out, bring the family to come to the games.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
I remember the promotions you did with the Gladiators on the field, with the families, and
Yes.
families were welcome there. And I think it's the same approach that you have here with the runners.
Absolutely.
And a welcoming atmosphere. I used to get a kick watching you, man, because I would be ready for the game. And I was looking at my boy over there, man. Look, I'd say that to myself because you look like you're having fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, right? Because you got the kids doing whatever they're doing with the gladiator mascot.
Yeah.
Races.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
So yeah, I
So I'm sure
developed
you're doing the
that.
same thing over
Absolutely,
there.
absolutely. So with the gladiator stuff, we when we started it, I developed all that stuff. So I developed how you run the promotions. I developed the game timelines. Basically I developed that, and I've carried that over to the runners. So you get to go out there. You see our mascot. We have our Rio the Roadrunner. He's running around everywhere. He's like the Mickey Mouse of New Mexico. I'll tell you what. He's out there. Kids know him. They see him in the community. Rio! They run over there, give him a big old hug. So why wouldn't you want to give a big old furry bird out there, Roadrunner, a hug? Our game promotions are great. We have a wonderful game promotion called the Money Drop, and we literally drop $100 in $1 bills from the rafters, and we have fans going in there collecting money.
Oh, wow.
I tell you, and that's brought to you by Gateway Financial Insurance Services. So Gateway's a big sponsor of ours, and so shout out to Gateway. But yeah, you got to come to the game if you want your chance to win some money, cold hard cash by just collecting money. I don't think anybody's ever seen money rain from the ceilings.
Right.
Yeah, but you can at the New
like
Mexico
those,
Runners games, so you got to come out, baby. Yeah. So when they say make it rain, it literally rains. Okay, rains dollar bills.
All you want, not like that, baby. Not like that. Not like that.
So
yeah,
you got.
Aldo's got the wrong idea about the raining.
He's
but
like,
I like it.
He's like, I'm coming to the next Runners game right there.
I like what I hear, and let's take a break, and we'll be back with New Mexico Runners owner Andres T on the Sports Desk after these messages.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger.
Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick.
Take 32.
The Sports Desk is proudly presented by Car Crafters. It's like it never happened.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up!
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
After the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, and our special guest is the owner of the New Mexico Runners indoor soccer team, my very good friend Andres T. And Andres, I don't think anybody's done this. We talked about the rare trilogy, the Steve Davis Show, the Rundown, and the Sports Desk.
Trifecta.
Yeah, yeah, man.
That's what it's called, the trifecta.
I've worked at ProView for 7 years and been the host of the Sports Desk for almost 5-6 years, and I don't think anybody's ever done that. So that's awesome, though. We wanted you on. We wanted you to sell the product, man.
Yeah.
And you've been doing a great job of it. The enthusiasm and passion are always there, always, no matter what's going on. That's what I've always enjoyed talking. When we talk about other things besides sports, a whole bunch of other things.
Talk about life.
Yeah, we can. That's right. And I always love your take on it because you're right. One thing, I'm 57 now. I just retired, and I know most of my good years are probably behind, right? And it seems, if you look back, and I think, gosh, nobody could have had a better send-off when I retired. So I look back on it and I think, man, I did 30 years with the city. It was a great 30 years. I had a great career. I know there's no regrets. I don't look back like, oh man, I know that I left the place that I was at in a much better shape than when I found it. And I did my job. I missed the people contact for sure. But there's other things I'm doing now that are keeping me busy. The voice of Western New Mexico.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Cool. That's it's a college game. I'm having so much fun. At first, when I was doing it, I was like, well, man, I'm still working. It's kind of hard. But now I'm not working. But that's still work because you got to prepare for the games. You got to get you want to make. One of the things that I learned was from Scott Galletti a little bit about preparation, right? I listened to some guys in the Lone Star Conference. I thought, hey, those dudes sound pretty darn good. They sound pretty good, so I got to pick my game up, man. I'm that competitive athlete, right? I played hoops, and I'm that guy that's going to compete, man.
Always making yourself better.
You know what? And I think even talking to you
better.
In what you're trying to do, right? Not just the soccer community, the community at large. We've got our issues here in New Mexico. We talk about that. You and I talk about that. You're someone here that's going to stay here and share your knowledge here in this community. We need more of that, right? I don't want to see you take your knowledge somewhere else. I don't. If somebody came with a job, and I don't understand that, with a professional team, you'd have to go. You'd have to. But right now, your runners are your passion.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're working as hard as you can every single day to make that franchise the best.
Well, I think you nailed it. For me personally, I feel like I'm trying to find a job here within sports is a very tough. Sports here to find a job with is very tough. Bottom line, it is. So with my skill set and what I decided to do was create my own job. So that's why I have what I'm doing, and that's why for the New Mexico Runners is an everyday thing. It's an everyday job. Get up, work New Mexico Runners, get it done, prepare, do what we got to do, get sponsors, get your promotions, get your staff, get your game scripts going. It's a full-time job for me. So I created my own job because I knew the difficulties of finding a sports job, because a lot of folks do end up leaving. They end up going somewhere else because there isn't much opportunity here. So with the Runners, though, my goal is to develop this platform so we can create jobs in the sports world for our local folks who you're like, hey, this is my home. Yeah, I got my degree in sports management or sports marketing or whatever it may be. What can I do locally? And I want to stay here. What can I do locally? And so my goal is to create these jobs with our sports organization so that there are opportunities here locally. And so I'm looking at this from with the future, right? With the future in mind. I'm looking at this from, hey, what are we going to do 5 years from now? How are we going to build this into 5 years from now to where we can provide jobs and build those opportunities for those individuals? Because even though it's seasonal, even though our season runs from December through March, it's all year long for us. So all year long, as soon as we're done, the playoffs this year or the first weekend in April, as soon as that's done, we're already working for the next season. So we're already working to get our staffing, our our schedule out, so it never ends. And I think most people kind of think sometimes, oh well, the season's over and that's it. No, it's all year long. I mean, our promotionals, our getting out there into the community, that's all year long. And that's one thing that we really specialize is making sure we're out at community events and things like that with our mascots and players, and we're partnering with different community organizations. So so again, my goal is to create these jobs for future sports folks who are looking to be in the sports world, work in the sports world, and so yeah, that's kind of how I look at it.
Much like the Albuquerque Isotopes has, right? I mean, they're hiring whatever.
Absolutely.
So they've done that, have sports jobs, you know, in the community. So your vision is so much more than just the runners is a huge vision for sure. But how does it impact other things?
Correct.
Not just, you're right. So
correct.
I think, you know, in hearing what you're saying, I understand what you're trying to build here. Talk about the league a little bit.
Okay.
And I guess what I wanted to ask you is this. You know, you and I talked about it when you were going to start the franchise. I remember, you know, talking to you at length about it. Why indoor soccer? Why? Why? You know, in other words, there's a lot of things Andres T could have done. Why indoor soccer?
So we play in the Major Arena Soccer League 2. So the Major Arena Soccer League has 2 divisions. They have Division 1, which are population bases above 1 million, and then MASL 2, which is populations built for populations below 1 million. And of course, in our metro area, we're 800,000. So so I elected to be in that part of that division. So there are a few teams across the way, you know, from Chihuahua, Mexico, all the way to Wichita Wings, all the way to Muskegon, which is in Michigan. So. But with that being said, arena soccer has never been done here locally. They've had indoor soccer. So, and I like to use arena soccer because of the venue we play in. We play in an actual arena. Indoor soccer, you know, most places are more rec facility and things like that. We're actually, you know, on the bigger scale, and so it's with our venue. And so New Mexico's never had a Major Arena Soccer League team before. You know, they used to have arena soccer, or indoor soccer, should I say, with the SISL, which was called the Southwest Indoor Soccer League, and that league used to play out of Blades, which was in Rio Rancho. And
wow.
And so Blades, Blades has been around for a while, and then of course now it's the MAC, but they don't have turf in there anymore. They took out the turf and they put basketball courts and things like that, which works.
Snakes plays.
Where they play. So really. There's never been an arena soccer team here, and so that's why I decided to go that route. Of course, the league was looking at a way to bridge the gap between teams. So obviously they had, when they were reaching out to us, they were saying, hey, we have a team in Phoenix, we have team Texas and Colorado and down in El Paso. How do we bridge the gap with teams? And of course, you know, being Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, that's a perfect middle ground for a team to help build the gap. So they came in and they did a test run to see. They did an exhibition game, USA Mexico exhibition game back in 2017, and I saw that and I said, you know what? This is cool. This could be a good thing. Let's rock and roll. Let me try it, and let me try and see what we can do with it. And I played indoor soccer when I was young. When I was over at there was the old Bag and Save over on Candelaria and Morris. And so it was an indoor soccer facility. They had 9 fields and all this stuff. It was awesome. And then they sold it to a charter school, and so indoor soccer disappeared. And so I'm like, okay, well, so I'm partial to indoor soccer, right? Because of how exciting it is, how fun, how fast, and I mean, a lot of goals, a lot of scoring. And so the opportunity came up, and I applied for a franchise and got awarded a franchise here. So yeah, so that's kind of the history of me joining with Arena Soccer and joining the league and bringing it here, because soccer's growing. You know, obviously we got New Mexico United, give a shout out right there. They're doing amazing things with New Mexico Soccer. So so when you have us and New Mexico United, it's soccer all year long in New Mexico. And that is huge for New Mexico because, for example, one of our guys, Josh Goss, he played for us and then played for United last season, and then now has come back and plays for us again. So when you see that, we're connected. So when you have soccer growing the way it is, it's a beautiful thing. Soccer's a beautiful sport, and so you know, we just it's really cool to see the development of soccer within the community.
Seems like it's growing on a national level too, because I don't think, you know, 10 years ago we would have been talking about this. You know, United's talking about building their own thing. You know, whether that happens or not, we'll see. But yes, I mean, I think it's taken the community by storm. It really has. I think the development or the uptick in soccer participation. And the other thing is this: And you know, I'm a big, huge NFL fan, right? I love the NFL since I was 1970. I've been a Cowboy fan. I rarely miss a game, rarely. But I will say that I think there's concerns, you know, about the CTE, things like that. So there might be less participation in football and more in soccer. They're going down the line. Although people are kind of worried about headers and soccer, but I don't think you see the same results with soccer injuries that you do with long-term football injuries. And I'm not advocating for, you know, I love football. I never played it, but I love. I'm a big. Who's not an NFL fan? You know, I'm right in front of the TV even if Dallas isn't in the playoffs and they haven't had great success recently, I'm still watching.
I think I think every sport has their bout of injuries, right? You know, certain injuries are more prominent than others based on the sport, and so every sport has their risks. So I mean, but that's just it. It's sports. You know, that's why people do it. You're pushing your bodies to the limits, and so. You know, I'm a football fan as well, and you know that's why I did arena football, right? That's why I ran arena football. So, I no matter what, I'm all about sports. I'm all about sports in the community, and so these guys are pushing their bodies to the limits. And so, but kind of coming back to, you know, again, arena soccer is it's never been seen before here locally. So. Getting folks to understand arena soccer is it's been kind of one of those educational moments for me teaching folks about, hey, what is arena soccer? Well, indoor soccer. Wait, what? What is that? And I get that. And I was like, just like it sounds, it's indoors and you play soccer. Whoa, is the field the same size as outdoor soccer? No, it's 200 foot long by 85 foot wide. So imagine playing soccer on a hockey rink. You have the field, the turf laid out, and so that's the way it is.
So like indoor football was
so what you see with indoor football,
more
same
scoring,
size.
more action, more players in
Playing
space.
off the wall, exactly.
Okay,
and so for those who are unfamiliar with arena soccer, there are a lot of elements related to hockey. So if you like hockey, you'll love arena soccer. And so we have power plays, we have penalty boxes. So you get sent to the penalty box. Well, somebody's on a power play, so one team would be at a disadvantage, and so gives you gives an opportunity. One of the advantage. Yeah.
We got one more segment on the sports desk with Andres T. after these messages.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
The Sports Desk is proudly presented by Car Crafters. It's like it never happened.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. Our very special guest has been Andres T., the owner of the New Mexico Runners Indoor Soccer League, and we've got about 6 minutes left. So you know what? Get to it, baby. You've been getting to it. I mean, all morning long, right? Steve Davis Show, The Rundown, the Sports Desk. So talk about your schedule. What you got left?
That's all I'm all about. I'm all about those hat tricks.
Oh man,
3.
You know, like I said, no one's ever done that. So sell it to us. You guys,
so
sell it to us. Talk about
man,
your schedule a little bit
one thing is our next home game is February 1st. Okay, it's against the Amarillo Bombers. It's game times at 5 p.m. kickoff with 4 doors opening at 4. Tickets are only $13, and that includes everything. So you come in. One thing that's great about the February 1st game, it's STEM and Educators Appreciation Night. So we're paying homage to all those folks who are involved in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We're all about it. We're all about education as well. So being Educators Appreciation Night, it's brought to you by Rio Rancho Education Foundation.
I love
so
that. I
so
love that. I do.
proceeds are going to go to the RREF, and so we want folks to come out, and we want to pay homage to the teachers and educators out there. One thing that's really important is our youth, and so we want our youth to be educated, and we want by the best. And I got to tell you, we have the best teachers in our community in Albuquerque, Rio Rancho. So we want to pay homage to you educators out there. Come out, bring your school teacher ID, and you get in free to the game. Okay, and so for those who do pay, we're going to give a portion of the proceeds to the Rio Rancho Education Foundation, and it's going to be education night. So it's all about education. We're going to have folks from STEM groups coming out, showcasing what they do with their organizations, all kinds of great things happening. And so educators, please come out. We're all about you. You do the most important jobs in the world by educating our youth, or for our future leaders. So that's February 1st, and so come out. Game time's at 5. Doors open at 4. But with our game, it's all about fun and entertainment. So when you come out to an arena soccer game, you're not coming just to watch soccer. It's high scoring, okay, fun, but you're also coming out to entertainment. So after every home goal scored, you get to see what's going on with. You get to do throwouts. We do throwouts. You get to catch a T-shirt and things like that. We do all kinds of events like Money Drop. Do you have that queued up there, Alden? Oh, it didn't come through. Okay, we were trying to get the Money Drop promotion that we do by Gateway Insurance and Services and Financial Services at our games. We bring people out. We do events like that, promotions, so kids get to come on the field, meet the players after the game, take pictures. I mean, it's all about that family. We have a live DJ, so if you're playing the cha-cha slide, playing the hit music, and of course we have sound effects too that our DJ does, which makes it really exciting. You can't do that with outdoor soccer. So if you're thinking, oh, it's just an outdoor game, maybe you're not a soccer fan, this is all about entertainment. So, we all have music throughout the game playing, pumping, and, we score a home goal and boom, our DJ hits the song and everyone's pumped up because they scored. It's all about that. It's all about that fun. And so we want to encourage everyone to come out and support New Mexico's only 100% Hispanic-owned sports team. And I don't think anybody, a lot of people know that. We're 100% Hispanic owned. We're the only 100% Hispanic owned sports team in the community. We're family owned and operated. So my mom handling our ticketing, my sister doing our VIP sponsorships, my wife doing our game ops. And so we're family. We invite everyone's family. We're all one big family in the community. And so games coming up again, February 1st.
Next home game.
Next home
game.
And then the game after that's February 8th. Sunday, March 1st. So
There's
if you
schedule
check
out there.
that out, you got the schedule there. And then we finish off at home for the season on March 21st. And those games are at 5 p.m. minus the March 1st game, which is at 3 p.m. because it's on a Sunday. So definitely come out to the games. And Santa Ana Star Center, it's a beautiful facility.
It is.
The state's best arena for sure.
No doubt.
The environment's great. It's intimate. It's exciting. And so we just encourage everyone to come out and support New Mexico's sports team. We are New Mexico True, and we're all about it. And that's why we're the Roadrunner. That's why our mascot is the Roadrunner. It's New Mexico State Bird. Every uniform is outfitted with the New Mexico State flag on the back. So we are our New Mexico. We are New Mexico True, and we're all about it.
Who put those uniforms together?
I did. I think that was a setup, right? Was that a setup question?
It was.
You're like, you already knew the answer to that.
Yeah, of course it was. Because like I said, there's not. Again, I think thanks so much for being our guest on Steve Davis Show and the Rundown and coming here on the Sports Desk.
Yes,
We'll definitely
I appreciate you.
You back. We appreciate you because it's not just soccer. Everybody listen to what Andres said. It's in the community. I love the STEM thing. I love the educational thing. I love that. It's for the community, right? We're going to recognize people in the community and honor what their efforts are in the community and build the community. So
Absolutely.
It's a three-pronged message, if you will.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
Andres T.
Hey, thank
always,
you, sir.
Always good to have you
February
on, man.
1st, Santa Ana Star Center tickets $13. Come support New Mexico's team, New Mexico Runners.
For our producer, Alden Diawani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll be back next Tuesday on the Sports Desk.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth